Good morning, class, and welcome to our usual discussion on worldviews. I want to thank those who have been vigilant in attending, and those who are not yet taking it seriously. I want to remind you that you still have very small time. Senate sat recently, and your exams are likely to begin quite early. And I therefore want to ask you, those who have not submitted in your coursework, that you submit in your coursework. I know some of you are having difficulties in attending online, but I'm sure that you know what it means when you don't attend. I want to encourage you, please, take it upon yourself to ensure that you attend, because with online system things record themselves and are automatic. So I will not be the one following you up like it was in the class, but the system simply captures you and awards you the marks. So there are not going to be any discussions about that. Number two is we have moved quite a bit, and I have uploaded a number of documents for you, videos, recordings, PowerPoints, and course material for you. As medical students, I believe you know why you have paid all that money to be at the university, and I therefore want to ask you to ensure that you make value out of your money. Please take it upon yourselves. Some people are asking if they can see me personally. It is not very possible because we are doing it online. And there are those who are saying, oh, when is the lecture? Please do not wait for the lecture. Just log on the platform, find where Worldviews is, and begin to do personal study. With this, you don't need anybody to be around to supervise you to do your work. Because we have recorded this material, you have all it takes to do personal study. So please don't wait that I'm waiting for Monday, that's when I will log in, to wait for where is the man, where is he. That is not going to help. So I want to encourage you to be vigilant, be responsible, and be intentional. I've been receiving a number of phone calls concerning the assignment. I gave you an assignment and I said go and read beginning from pages 25 to 35, looking at the African perspective of worldviews, African traditional perspective of worldviews. And I asked you, how is a worldview analysis made, and how does the African traditional worldview influence your worldview as a medical student? Friends, I want to make a few remarks to help those who are stuck. Number one, I want to remind you of our lecture we had on page 23, doing a worldview analysis. Charles Colson offers 3 very important steps when doing a worldview analysis. But of course, that's not final. But like I said, a worldview is a mindset, it's a paradigm, it's a thought. Each person is a worldview. And therefore, every statement you make, you are making a worldview. Unlike your own, here, I gave you a specific article, a specific area to look at, whereby there was an encounter between a Westerner, Western in terms of, we're meaning the Europeans, and an African. There was an encounter. Remember, Western approach to life looks at 2 things. 1, materialism. Number 2, naturalism. That is where their attention is paid very much. Now, when you are doing a worldview, you, an African, and a naturalist, both of you have completely different worldviews. How you look at the world, your understanding and perspectives about the world And I therefore want to tell you that here there are two worldviews that have encountered themselves, and you are now the third worldview, a student who is doing Bachelor of Nothing and Bachelor of Public Health. Now, when Coulson is talking about the three steps, one, the origin. Where did we come from? Origin. Number two, the problem. What has gone wrong with the world? And number three, the question of solution. What can we do to fix this? Now, when you read this article, you are going to do not only a worldview analysis, but you are also going to do another thing called an article review. With an article review and a worldview analysis, you are bound to encounter these three questions that you are supposed to answer when you are reading and when you are supposed to make a response to that. So, on page 25, the encounter between an African and a Westerner brings us to an understanding that these are two worldviews and you are the third person who is offering another worldview. Remember, you, the third person, is the one going to do the interpretation. Now, the African worldview has its own beliefs. The naturalistic worldview has its own beliefs. And you, the blood and the flesh, you also have your own beliefs. Now, to you, you are finding yourself in a position whereby you also have an idea on the Western worldview as a medical student, a naturalistic worldview, a Christian worldview, and an African worldview. So you are torn between them. But you are made to make an analysis of the two worldviews. How are you going to do it? Charles Coulson on page 23, like I said, offers three: the origin, problem, and solution. Now let's go step by step. Step number one, when you are diagonizing the origin, who are we and where did we come from? Remember, you are reading an African and a Westerner's approach to reality. There is a component of getting an accident within this article. An African is saying, look, this person got an accident, and if you can take it to everyday life, you have someone who has gotten an accident, you are moving together, and this person eventually either dies or breaks his leg or feet. Now, the people around who share the same worldview with the victim will say that we would rather, first of all, take this person to the traditional medical person to ensure that the bones are aligned. And the second thing is they are asking themselves, why has the accident come about? Is it as a result of his own making, or it is, which kind of misfortune it is? Because to Africans, a problem does not just arise. Remember, Africans believe that any problem comes as a result of the conflict between the living and the dead. Someone does not just die. Someone kills someone. So they want to find out which kind of spirit is this that has brought misfortune to this person. Now they would say, let's take the person to the traditional healer. You are the medical person listening. And they will say, now, because this person has gotten a misfortune, we will take to the traditional healer. And when they take to the traditional healer is the one to take care of that. You are now dealing with the question of origin. Where did we come from? Under this, you are verifying the problem. You are verifying the problem. In this, you are dealing with the content of what they are saying. What are they saying? Now, after listening to all this, of course, you have not made you are simply making an observation, but you are not making a comment yet. Number two, you establish the facts within what they are saying, which we are calling the context. The context. The first one, you are dealing with the content. The second one, you are dealing with the context. Under which context are they talking about? Are they Africans or they are Westerners? Yes, they're Africans. But what is the problem? The problem is the person has gotten an accident. Number 3, the solutions, according to Colson. What are the possible alternatives to what this person should be, to what this person is saying? So you are beginning to think within you as a medical person, what are the possible alternatives? Now, according to Africans, they are saying if we take to the traditional healer will take care of this. But number 2, we have to appease the gods. We have to appease the gods. So all the clan is in trouble because one of them is attacked. You have to appease the gods. Now your response as a medical person is okay. The content is the person has gotten an accident. Number 2, the context is these are Africans. But this accident requires not necessarily a traditional healer, but it requires to take to the hospital to do diagnosis, dress the wound, and have the person get treatment. The Africans are offering a different alternative. They are saying they want to go to appease the gods. Now to you, to come in to help these people, first of all, you are coming in as an African, first of all, but also as a medical person. So you are going to offer your alternatives, responding to the challenges or the mindset of these people. So within this article, you are required to read what these people are saying. The encounter on page 28, the generalist perspective on African traditional culture and worldviews, and look at how the Africans are looking at the perspective of the death of this man. What has caused the death? Why do they think the way they are thinking? And what would be the possible responses for you to these people? You are not, that's where I said you are going to do both a worldview analysis, but also doing an article review. Now within this, you first of all read to understand. First of all, read to understand what is the context and define the problem in light of Charles Colson in 3 questions: origin, solutions. Or Charles Colson talking about these 3 steps: the one of origin, problem, and solutions. Now, when you are making those, you are going to also offer your alternatives. Your recommendation is what should be or what should have been the first thing they should do, and why do you think they should do what you are suggesting as a medical person. In that way, you are indicating how the worldviews of Africans and naturalistic worldview influence your worldview as a medical student. Those alternatives that you are going to offer should be backed and based on reason and affection that you have as a person who is doing medicine. I think that offers a little bit of complete picture of what you are supposed to do. So let me look at your assignments and have a say on what you are saying as well. The assignment is required to be written in 4 pages only. Don't go beyond 4 pages. Reading this article and defining the problem as I have indicated. So looking forward to hearing from you, and thank you very much.